yesterday. It's a pity it wasn't yesterday, but it is a great day, and it is a great occasion to be here to officially unveil Bill. A special welcome to Michael McCormack, our federal member for Riverina. Welcome here for us today, Michael. Michael's been a very big supporter of this project all the way through, and also a supporter of this region. And I thank Michael on behalf of the community and everyone for that. I'd also like to welcome our Mayor, Mark Rolls, here today. Thanks, Mark, for coming along. And also a special welcome to Brigadier Glenn Ryan. He is from the Victoria Barracks in Sydney. He's come up here today to help us celebrate this important occasion. He is the Director General of Training, HQ Force Command, Victoria Barracks. So welcome, Brigadier Ryan. Thanks for coming along and joining us. To the Light Horse Troop once again for coming along and looking splendid as they always do, and being part of this very important occasion. And of course, welcome to everyone else here today. Apologies, unfortunately, Steph Cook, who's been a very busy lady since she took on the portfolio, the emergency service portfolio. She's been called up to the Hunter Valley. We all know what they're going through up there right now. It looks like it's easy to beat in Sydney, but now it's hit the Hunter Valley and filled up the coast. So unfortunately, Steph can't be here today, but I think everyone can understand why. Our Deputy Mayor, Alison Foreman, is an apology, as is committee member Andrew Kelly from Yass and Rita O'Connor. As I said, this has been a long process. It's been going since about 2016-17. When Carl Valerius came up with the idea of progressing with his statue, and then he got employed Graham Taylor as his involved, as everyone knows. Graham was our vet at the time, and Graham helped him get all the dimensions right for the horse, and Carl, through that period, over the next few years, put together this magnificent statue, and congratulations to Carl. And thank you very much for the work he's put into this. Thanks, Carl. But Carl also worked very closely with a bloke by the name of Matt Crawford from Sydney. Matt runs a foundry in Sydney that did the bronzing work, and I liaise with Matt quite frequently on the trips to Sydney. I call him and see how it goes, and I used to see these bits and pieces of horses and soldiers in a crate in Sydney and wondered how the hell it was going to turn out like this. But and then saw shots of it as they slowly welded it all together, and then it landed here. And we see it as a magnificent statue to represent the feats of Major Shanahan, as well as Bill the horse himself. It's all well and good to, and certainly give credit to people like Carl and Matt and everyone that's been, but there is some people that did a lot of work that don't normally, they do the work behind the scenes, and they don't get any recognition. But without them, this horse would not be here either. Carl would have done the work, but without raising the funds and putting it all together, and moulding it as the statue as moulding it all together, this would not have happened. And I'd like to thank people like Reece Gray and Bob Lee and Michelle Kennett, who were part of the initial steering committee that were very involved in raising the much needed thing that we need to do this, money. This doesn't come cheap. Then there was after Reece, Bob and Michelle, Graham Taylor, myself, Dave Young, Karen Kemp and Andrew Kelly took over the reins, and we bring it through here to today. But so I'd like to personally thank those members of that committee that have helped. And I know the work that they've all put in to get it here. The project was something like about $700,000, a bit over $700,000. So that was a lot of money to raise, and I didn't think from day one that we had a chance of doing it. But anyhow, recent Bob and Michelle wouldn't give up. And then Steph came on board, and she donated. She gave through a grant funding about half the money, which is about $360,000. So really, I've got to appreciate what Steph's put into this, and she's followed it all the way through. And then the local community got involved, the Kruger Trust, the Hilltop Shire got involved, and thanks Mark for being part of that. And then we were able to put together the total funds that were needed. But without a lot of that, and the help of HRDC, which is the Harden Development Corporation, and Chris Island, towards the end of this project, it looked like it was going to stall. They came on board and helped us to finalise and get it here. To Keith and Kath Ward, Keith has been a die-hard supporter of this, and Keith does a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people wouldn't see. The website, for instance, Keith takes that on board. I wouldn't know how to write one, but Keith looks after it for me, Keith and Kath, thank you very much, and they're always there for whenever you need them. The Kruger Trust was a major contributor, and I thank them. Steph Cook, I've thanked. Bill Gibbons from Victoria was a very big supporter of this, and Bill contributed $25,000 towards this project, and I'd like to formally thank Bill for his strong support of this. And Greg Medway and Robin Cooper, who own the land that this is situated on, I'd like to thank them for being involved in it and allowing us to mount it here, which is a very appropriate place, right opposite the White Horse Memorial, the other side of Bassett Street, across the road. So thanks for everyone, and I think you've heard enough from me, and I just really appreciate the work that everyone's put into it, and when we uncover it, I think most people have probably seen us been sitting here. It is a big attraction for the town. There's not a time that I doesn't come through town here that I don't see people here taking photographs. So it is a big attraction. It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. I initially thought that it will attract something, but when I got fully involved in the committee, there was emails every day coming through about people inquiring where it was all up to, what was happening with it, when's the unveiling, where can you see it. And I know Cole has had a lot of buses call in and people, and Cole gives them a bit of a talk, and they come down here and view it, and then hopefully they spend a bit of time and money in our great little town. So thanks for everyone. And now we'll move into a bit more formal stuff. And I'd like to call on our Mayor, Marg Rolls, to come out and say a few words. And she's also going to read out, unfortunately, as I said, Steph couldn't make it, but Marg will read out a little bit of a spiel from Steph, and someone also say a few words. Thanks, Marg.
Thanks, Chris. Before I start, I think there's one person that really needs thanking, but we haven't heard from, or we haven't heard his name, and that is Chris. It's fantastic. Thank you, Chris, for being the guiding light right through this project, and certainly on the last council as well. It was in a major way due to Chris that we now today have this magnificent statue here. And as Mayor of Hilltops, I'm still getting used to Mayor Mar. As Mayor, welcome everybody, and also thank you for your support for the statue and for this movement right through the process. And I know for our beautiful Hilltops, it is an attraction that will certainly bring people to the area and will certainly build our profile within the tourist arena. So thank you. This afternoon, there's a letter from Steph, who, for reasons that I'm sure we're well aware of, couldn't make it today. Here are her words for each of you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry to not be here with you all to celebrate the unveiling of this very special statue. This project has been a long time in the works and has only become possible thanks to the dedication and perseverance of all involved. It's been a pleasure to support the efforts of the community here in Harden Murrumburrah and a group of dedicated people who work tirelessly to see this project complete. This life-size likeness of Bill will stand as an eternal reminder of the sacrifice of not only the men who served, but the animals who stood beside them. I would like to acknowledge all the members, past and present, of Bronzing Bill the Bastard Limited. In total, there were 120 founding members, and each and every one of them deserves thanks for their efforts. Also to be acknowledged is the dedication of sculptor Carl Valerius, who worked tirelessly to ensure that this statue of Australia's greatest warhorse could take his place here. Congratulations and thank you to all those involved in seeing this tribute to Bill take place. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Best wishes, Steph Cook. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Mark. Now I'll like to call on Michael to come up and say a few words, and then we'll have the official unveiling. Thank you, Michael, and welcome to Harden.
Thank you, Chris. And I don't normally write a speech. I don't normally give a speech as a prepared thing, but I did tonight, last night, because I think this was very, very special. So I've actually researched and written my speech today, which I'd like to read to you. Thanks to my beautiful accomplice here. Hilltop's Mayor, Margaret Rice, Deputy Mayor, of course, is not here. Statue Committee Chair, Graham Taylor, Original Chair, Rhys Gray, Michelle Kennett, Matt Crawford. There's a whole host of people who should be acknowledged, and I know that many of them, and most of them already have, the Brigadier, Glenn Ryan. Keith Taylor, right here in front of me, 97 years young, from Uranquinny, has come all the way for this special occasion. You get a special clap, Keith. On page 144 of 844 of the official history of Australia in the War of 1914-18, Volume 7, Sinai and Palestine, Harry Gullett wrote this. Major M. Shanahan of the 2nd Light Horse Regiment, riding around the listening posts, found 4 Australians who had lost their horses and been outflanked by the enemy. Taking 2 of the men onto his horse and with a trooper hanging to either stirrup, he dashed safely through the Turks in the darkness. 2 sentences. That's all, but such powerful words of bravery, courage under fire, mateship, an extraordinary horse doing what he would usually do, ordinary men doing extraordinary things. It's what being an Australian soldier is all about. Now that action is immortalised for all time. A true bronzed Aussie, right here in this special place, for all to see, to admire, to honour, to respect, to remember. Only an Australian war hero could be called Bill the Bastard. And I can remember when I first mentioned it in Parliament. Of course, we all remember the opposition leader. His first name was Bill. I nearly got thrown out. But I quickly clarified I was talking about a wonderful horse, not the opposition leader, Mr. Shorten, at the time. Amongst the Desert Mounted Corps, his name was not an insult, but rather a term of endearment. Thanks, Chris. Only an Australian horse, a wonderful whaler, could have done what this equine marvel did. Bill became a legend, a symbol of the Anzacs. There was, as Roland Perry so beautifully put in his 2012 book, a fantastic work of history which I recommend. No other horse like Bill the Bastard, nor will there ever be. Bill the Bastard is the remarkable tale of a bond between a determined trooper and his stoic but cantankerous mount. They fought together. They depended on each other for their survival. And when the chips were down, Bill's heroic efforts and exceptional instincts in battle saved the lives of Michael Shanahan and 4 of his men rode Perry. Now, during August 1916, Shanahan persuaded Patterson, yes, Andrew Barton Banjo Patterson, who had been Bill's minder on the troopship over Can This Story Get Any Better, to let him take Bill into the pivotal Battle of Romani. Patterson agreed, and from then on, Bill was paired with Shanahan. Bill soon gained a reputation for his fearlessness, standing his ground in an ambush and warning his rider of danger ahead using his keen instinct and sense of smell. Bill was difficult to handle, but met his match when he met Major Shanahan, a 46-year-old builder from Roma in Queensland. Major Shanahan won the horse's respect and trust with gentleness, perseverance and a sizable quantity of licorice all sorts. Major Shanahan and Bill fought together, relying on each other for their very survival. Late on the night of the 3rd and 4th of August 1916, Shanahan and Bill rescued 4 Tasmanian troopers who faced imminent death, returned them to safety and earned Shanahan the Distinguished Service Order. Page 3. There's only 4, it's okay, I know it's very cold. Bill had monumental stamina and powered on for 6 gruelling hours that night. Just think of that, 6 gruelling hours. One general went through 17 horses in the same time that Bill stayed with Shanahan. Generals. Bill, a massive 17.1 hands high, weighed about 730 kilograms and had strength and intelligence unmatched by any others of his breed. So Roland Perry's account goes, Bill's campaign began in Sydney's Liverpool Army Camp, where a young Ben Towers from nearby Cootamundra was volunteering to serve in the Australian Light Horse. Towers stated his age as 17, as many young fellows did, but the recruiting officer was doubtful. And Perry writes that what was said was, break out Bill for Mr. Towers. That was the direction. Everyone around knew that Bill was used as a test for horsemanship skills of underage recruits. Anyone who could stay on Bill for any length of time was considered a good rider, and recruiting staff often turned a blind eye to their young age. Towers was the first rider to ever stay on Bill for more than 2 minutes before being unceremoniously bucked off, according to Perry. He also scored the second highest score on his rifle test, making him very attractive to recruiting. An assistant to the recruiting officer said, "Are you going to sign him up?" The officer held his gaze and said, "I'd sign him up even if he could hit a barn door at 10 paces. Anyone who can handle Bill like that deserves a chance." And so the story goes, and so Perry accounts, he advised Towers to go for a walk around the block and come back a year older. 3 years later, they learnt that Towers, whose real name was Ben Burt, was only 14 years old the day he enlisted. Think of that, 14 years old. And we've got a few kids here today, and they know how young that is, and we all do too. Young Ben was killed in action and buried in a temporary cemetery on the outskirts of Beersheba. And before he slipped into eternal life, all he cared about was the welfare of Bill the Bastard. But that's another story. So many stories, so much sadness, so much of which to be proud. Last page, Keith, you'll be right, you've endured this so far. It's only half a page. This is a great Australian story and should be taught in every school across our nation, and it really should. Sculptor Supremo, Carl Valeris, has played his part in preserving the memory. Bill the Bastard has been magnificently brought back to life by Carl, my good friend and a friend to all. Thank you, Carl, from the bottom of all of our hearts. Thank you, and to Faye, for watching. And look, you're getting a standing ovation. In Professor Roland Perry's book, a small typing error asserted a life-size rather than a life-like statue of Bill the Bastard could be viewed in Murrumburrah, resulting in a flood of inquiries to see a life-size sculpture which didn't exist. As the centenary of the Battle of Romani drew near, Carl decided to fix the situation, and the crafting of a life statue in wax, clay and polystyrene, and that was completed on the 4th of August 2016 in your workshop. Well, that's at least what I've been told, so we'll stick to that. Now, thanks to community advocacy, philanthropy and government funding, $364,000 from the state government. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, New South Wales Government. Carl's superb model has now been bronzed and will last the ages. Of course, gratitude has been expressed, but should be again, to Harden Regional Development Corporation. Thank you very much to all of those people. The Kruger Trust, again, a big thanks. And to Bill Gibbons from Victoria, $25,000 of private money. That is massive. Hilltops Regional Council, there are so many others, and you all know who you are. But the biggest thanks is to you, Carl, and to Harden Murrumburrah. Thank you, concerned. Thanks, Chris, for holding that. Very good assistant. I've got a job in mind for Steele, what, mate?
I've been there and done all that, Michael. First time I've been elected, actually. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, now I'll call Michael to come forward, and Carl, and Graham Taylor, and Brigadier to come forward and do the official unveiling.
No, all good, no worries at all. Oh, how prosaic.
Welcome, Bill. Once again, thanks everyone for being here with this important occasion today, and everyone that's travelled, safe trips back home. Much again appreciate Brigadier Ryan being here with us today, as well as Michael McCormick and Mayor Mark Rolls. Thank you all.
I've got to say a quick something. Thank you all so much for coming. It's great to have an idea, and it's great when that idea is supported so much by your wife. We've never ever paid or seen you spend too much to this effort. We've heard total support and the support of the community and the committee. Thank you all for your support. Dave's got some cake and biscuits and coffee up in the studio if anybody wants to come. Thank you, my lord.
Thanks, Carl.